Magandang araw po sa ating mga nanonood at nakikinig. And today we have a very, very special guest. A guest that we've been waiting for since last week. It's an honor for me to present to you, of course, a counselor that is very close to my heart, Counselor Mylene Yaranon. Magandang araw po, Madam.
Magandang araw din sa iyo, Malen, at sa lahat ng nanonood dito sa Breaking Point.
In the Breaking Point, we opted to do a tandem last week. Councilor Mylene was supposed to be in tandem with Councilor Joe Molintas. But unfortunately, merong prior arrangements si Councilor Mylene. But she is here now to answer point by point all issues raised by Councilor Molintas. And pag-uusapan po natin, straight from Councilor Mylene, the heart of the matter in the issue of our city council reorganization, because allegations of Councilor Molintas say that because you and two others refused to recognize the decision of the courts in this reorganization, ang nangyayari naman ngayon ay nadodoble ang trabaho ng ibang konsehal natin dahil yung committees dapat na assign sa inyo ay napupunta sa kanila. Would you like to rebuttal?
First of all, what was the objective of the reorg?
Mm-hmm.
Bakit kailangan mag-reorg? We're at our more than half of our term. No? So, what was the reason behind it? Ang sabi ko naman, okay, magre-reorg ngayon. We had a votation and 8 lang yung nag-vote.
Ito ate yung pinaka-controversial na pagbibilang ng 8 because dumaan ito sa korte at marami sa atin ang lito.
Yeah. 8 lang kasi yung nag-vote, and then when we asked ano ba ang majority, and of course our city secretary said 15 divided by 2 is 7.5 plus 1 is 8.5. I-round off mo yun, kahit elementary, alam yata na 9 yun, di ba? So we questioned that, and then sabi nga ni Vice Mayor, so it's lost. The reorganization is lost. But after a week, binalik nila. Nung binalik nila, sabi niya, I made a mistake. 8 pala. So you cannot just do that. You should have to go through the process again. And because of that, kinasuhan namin siya. Na hindi naman dumaan sa process. Kung talagang 8 pala yung gusto mo, during that time na nagsabi tayo na 9 ang majority, sabi ng city secretary, he should have filed for parang, at that, during that meeting din, hindi yung after a week.
Mm-hmm. And because of this,
Yes.
has a work in the city council been stalled? What committee did you handle before, and what committee was supposed to be assigned?
I handled Public Works Committee.
It is said to be the most powerful.
How can it be if it's powerful if you're corrupt? That's a very easy way of getting money from contractors.
Mm-hmm.
But we removed that. Councilors are not involved in bidding anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So how can that be
watch.
powerful?
Oh.
Yes. And that's my forte. I'm an architect, diba? And then the other committee that they were trusting to me is PWD, Cooperative and Livelihood. Ano naman ang alam ko sa Cooperative and
So there
PWD?
is
That's not my line.
There's a mismatch.
Yes, it's a mismatch. And in the first place, did I do anything wrong in my committee?
That
Did I not perform?
for it to be taken away?
Yes. Why is it being taken away? Is it because that is a committee that has to be in all the PPP projects?
So ang sitwasyon ngayon, Councilor Mylene, what is happening now? Are you heading the committee thrusted upon you, or are you not recognizing it?
No, I actually did not accept it because it is not my expertise.
Mm-hmm.
And also because the decision of the vice mayor of the majority of 8 is being questioned in court.
Still.
Still, up to now, there was a dismissal, but we filed for a motion for reconsideration, and it's still in court.
There is an allegation or an insight by Councilor Molintas that because of this impasse, merong mga councilors na hindi na gumagawa ng kanilang mga nauukulang trabaho in terms of legislation. At ang kanyang exact words ay namumuliti ka na, nagkakampanya na. What can you say about this? Because the committees that were assigned to you and to two others are now being handled by the other councilors. Parang pinaghahatian para lang gumalaw yung committees.
I don't think so, because there are still resolutions and ordinances being filed.
Okay, so there's no stop in work.
There's no stoppage of work. And even me, no, even if it's not my committee, I file resolutions on about health or about social services. It's still there.
How many years have you been a councilor, Manang Mylene?
This is my 9th year.
Has this situation happened anytime before?
Never. It's only now.
Why do you think it's happening?
Now?
Because a lot of people are confused. People don't really understand yung apprehension to take the committees that are being assigned. What is the politics behind the assigning of the committees? People might think that you don't want to handle concerns on PWDs. So, why do you think all of this is happening now?
Well, because I think they're speculating on, especially me, on my future endeavors. They think that I'm going to run for mayor. Excuse me, I'm not. You know naman, right now, I'm not running for mayor. And they're so paranoid on what's going to happen next. I don't know why, but
is it
I
so
don't
bad
even know.
if you're going to run for mayor?
I don't know with them, but why not? But I chose not to. I chose to run for vice mayor. Not for mayor.
So in your heart, there is a no stoppage of work. You are not sitting on your job. You're still doing your responsibilities as a councilor.
Yes. Even if I'm not the Committee on Public Works, I still go around. I go around looking at the projects, if it was well implemented. I inspect. I went to inspect the Luna Terraces. I went to inspect the projects at Wright Park.
Luna Terraces is the housing project.
The housing
Irisan.
project, yes, at Irisan.
We will talk about that later.
Yes.
So you still inspect public works.
Yes.
What about the committee on assigned to you dapat?
The livelihood, I go around the barangays.
So nakikita mo pa rin?
Yes. I still go around. Even the barangays can testify that. I'm promoting their products.
All right.
Yes.
So hindi lang natin tinatanggap yung proseso ng pag-assign at pag-decide sa committees. Tama po ba?
Yes. It was why was there a reorg? It was never clear. Why even do that? And the process of the majority and the process of giving the committee to us, especially it's not our expertise. Yun yung mga questions ko.
Okay, that's clear. So sa puso at sa isip po ni Councilor Mylene, ay ginagawa pa rin niya ang kanyang trabaho bilang konsehal. Nire-reject nga lang niya ang proseso ng pagpili at pag-assign ng mga kumiting ito.
Yes.
So, okay.
Thank you.
If the audience notices I transfer on calling her from ate to manang, it's because matagal ko na pong kinakausap at kinocover si Councilor Mylene, pati po ang kanyang ama, ating former Mayor Braulio Yaranon.
Yes.
Kaya po sinasabi kong malapit sa puso ko. Ngayon po, pag-usapan natin ang palengke. Dahil magmula po nung unang pinag-uusapan pa ang development, nung una po kasama kayo, kakampi, sa pag-design at sa pag-plano nito. Pero nung lumaon na, nung tumagal na yung panahon, nagiging oposisyon na tayo. Hindi na pareho ang pagtingin natin sa palengke sa ating eksekutibo. So let's talk about the market, Councilor Mylene. Ano po ang status ng palengke natin ngayon at ano po ang mangyayari for 2025?
Okay. First, I'll explain bakit, paano tayo why are we in the picture of the market?
Yes.
In the 2019, when the mayor first sat, he asked my help to rehabilitate, no, and modernize the Baguio public market. And I was the head of the technical working group. Sino yung mga kasama natin dito? Of course, si former, yung yumao na si Architect Alabanza, and the academe, Architect Donna Tabangin was part of it. She's now our City Planning and Development Officer. Our CBAO, represented by Architect Lorelai. And she's now working with also CPDO. And the other UAP president, chapter presidents, and even civil engineers, they were
So,
there.
noong una po, sama-sama tayo magpaplano.
Yes, we were there. And I asked the mayor, how long, gaano katagal mo ako bibigay ng time frame to make this redevelopment plan? Sabi niya, 2 months. Sabi ko, 2 months. So that would be end of September. So I started already organizing the market people. We were having meetings every Thursday. They can testify to that. We have minutes of the meeting of all of this. And sila pa ang nagpapamerienda. No? And then I needed somebody to come up with the perspectives for the presentation. And it so happens that I have my friend who just arrived from Abu Dhabi. That's Ronnie Quijana, who is also from Baguio, Architect Quijana. And he helped us, you know. All the plans, all the presentations, 3D, mahirap gawin yon, pero nagawa namin yon in 2 months.
So, what year was this?
2019.
Pre-pandemic.
Yes, 2019, September 30
And
was
by
the
a People's
presentation.
Multi-Sectoral Initiative, we were able to present an architectural plan, tama ba?
Yes, an architectural plan, and we had the City Council approve it.
Mm-mm.
And then ang next step dyan, of course, after all the series of public consultations with the different organizations, all systems go, di ba? Next step is, okay, yung feasibility, we submitted the feasibility. Sino na ngayon? Saan natin kukunin yung pera? And the finance presented the different modalities of
So may options tayo, no?
Yeah, we had options, PPP, loan, pwede pa ngang yung we can have ano tawag doon, yung social
Financing?
Financing.
Opo.
Na tayo mismo sa Baguio, we can finance that and all of that stuff, no. And pinagbotohan yon sa City Council. Una, natalo yung PPP eh. Pero after a while, 2 of the councilors nakiboto sa PPP. So yun, that's
Doon
what
na
happened.
nag-umpisa.
Yes.
So nag-umpisa na, nung bumoto na PPP, nabuksan na ang floodgates for unsolicited proposals.
Oo.
So dito na nag-umpisa na hindi na natin pinapansin yung original plans na naibigay dahil
Yeah.
nag-PPP modality na tayo.
Tapos, ang nangyari doon sa original plans, the City Council, sabi ko kasi, paano yan, PPP? Tatanggapin ba natin yung OPS, yung mga nag-propose? Meron tayong plan na approve. So, pinag-usapan ulit yon hanggang ang ginawa na naman ni Vice, recommendatory na lang daw yung plano na yon. Okay. So, hindi na. Hindi na talaga napansin. Pero ang nakakainis lang is, syempre, pagdating sa market, sabi ng mga tao, Councilor, akala ko approve na yon, akala ko ipapatayo na natin yun. Ano nangyari?
Dahil nung una, kasama nga sila sa plano,
Yes,
sa
they were
pagpaplano.
part of that. Sila ang nagplano niyan. Sila ang nagsabi kung anong sizes na gusto nila ng mga stalls. Even the cost, that they were willing to increase the cost by 50 pesos per square meter per day.
Papayag sila.
Payag sila. Kaya nga napa-approve lahat tapos biglang anong nangyari? Kaya ako naiinis kasi ako yung naka-front. Tapos ako na ngayon yung kailangan mag-explain
So
sa
mukha
kanila.
mo yung nakasalalay
Yes.
doon. So people
Yes.
have to understand that the start of the market issue began when Councilor Mylene talked to the market stakeholders and together make a plan. But the modality of our development of the market changed
Yes.
from being LGU initiated to being part of the PPP. Ito na po yung pinag-usapan natin with our city administrator, Sir Bonnie de la Peña, at nandito na nga tayo sa sitwasyon ngayon na napunta na sa SM ang original proponent status or OPS.
Yes.
So, ano po ngayon ang status ng palengke natin in your perspective?
Well, ngayon, the mayor signed a certificate of successful negotiation. And I was asking for the details of this, but I cannot get any document. Otherwise, I could have discussed this here, no? But according to them, the technical working group, yung negotiations na yan is still undergoing daw with the City Development Council. And then, it will be approved by the City Council. Parang mali, di ba? Pumirma ka na sa Certificate of Successful Negotiation, tapos ibabalik sa CDC na hindi pa pala yun. So, kung sa akin, null and void dapat yung Certificate of Successful Negotiation na yan. I don't know.
What can we do about the market? Kasi when we talk to our city administrator, si Sir Bonnie, ang sabi naman po niya ay lahat ng ito ay dadaan sa proseso nga ng PPP. At in summary, ang last say naman po daw ay ang ating city council.
Yes, and well, what can we do? Right now, the people are against it. The City Development Council is composed of the different barangay captains in the city, different heads of organizations, and civil society. Ang suggestion ko lang, you go to the barangays, you ask the people if they really approve of it.
So it's true that the last say will always be the city council.
And after the City Development Council has approved it, no, kung na-approve na nila lahat, then they will recommend it to the City Council for approval.
So there is a chance that if the City Council disapproves it, tapos ang usapan.
Tapos ang usapan. But syempre, kami rin, sino ba yung majority ng City Council ngayon?
Sa ngayon.
Sa ngayon.
At hindi natin alam kung magko-crossover, magki-carry over pa pala ito sa bagong konseho natin.
Yes. And kaya I keep on asking etong mga tumatakbo ba, ano bang stand nila sa market? So
it's going to be a political issue. It's
very
going to be
political.
An election issue.
Yeah, especially it's election.
Yes. So isa to sa, let's say, very controversial issues that the city is facing. And of course, na-identify na rin natin to as part of the big ticket or the PPP projects na talagang highly debatable and contested. Now, let's go to congestion fee, our traffic.
Yes.
Do you have a stand on this?
I'm against the congestion fee. No to congestion fee, definitely. Why? Again, Singapore is different from Baguio. The congestion fee in Singapore is an Orchard Road, and I asked, hindi pa nga ako nakarating sa Singapore, no, but I asked the people who've been there. That's in an area, commercial area district. But here in Baguio, ano ang nasa Central Business District natin? We have our hospitals there. SLU, Notre Dame, di ba? We have our schools there, universities. UB, UC, SLU, and then we have our market, our city market. But that is an everyday place where people go to.
Okay.
You bring your students, the students go there, and then you put a congestion fee. Parang bigat naman. Masyadong pabigat ito sa mga tao. I'm talking of the social impact of the congestion fee. How will it affect our people? Naisip ba nila yan bago man lang yan na-approve? Or ipapa-approve? Kung ako yan, nakita ko pa lang yan, I will not even bring it to the table. I will not even ask people to approve it. Ako pa lang, di-disapprove ko na yan. So, yan.
People see you now as an opposition because you have head-on challenged the programs being presented by our Mayor Benji, And of course, nakikita ng mga tao ang paminsan-minsang sagutan sa social media tungkol sa issues natin sa City Council. Did you perceive yourself to be the opposition?
Actually, during the start of the term of Mayor Magalong, we were friends, you know. But after 6 months, towards January of 2020, nakita ko na yung yung clash. Yung priorities niya are different. Yung kanyang patakbo is different. Siyempre, general si Mayor di ba? Tapos para tayong mga sundalo.
But you started
We're not like
out
that.
On the same wavelength.
Yeah, we were. And bilib na bilib ako sa mga campaign, niya, mga sinasabi niya noon that the market will be developed by the government, mga ganyan. Ang ganda ng plataforma niya
What do you think happened?
He deviated from it.
How?
Just getting the PPP, this PPP is already a deviation from the original. Diba?
When did you stop talking to our chief executive? Because I know for a fact that the lines of communication between the two of you then were open.
Yes.
Kailan po nag-stop ang, let's say, congenial relationship ninyo?
Before that, we had a heart-to-heart talk.
Mm-mm.
And we really discussed that we both wanted what's good for Baguio. Pero iba ang style niya. I follow my family's principles. And then, nag-stop na totally when ininsulto ako during the flag raising ceremony on his second term.
We'll get to that.
Yes.
You have also filed cases against our chief executive. Tatlo? Dalawa?
4.
4 cases. Not 1, not 2, not 3,
It's 4.
but 4.
Yes.
And this is about delayed infrastructure projects mainly.
Yes.
Correct? Athletic Bowl, Wright Park,
Irisan multipurpose building
and
the Topinao.
Topinao in Tuba.
Yes.
So 4 po ito. Infrastructure-related lahat.
Yes.
Okay. So, people perceive you to be the opposition against Mayor Magalong. Just
On
because
issues.
you're not
Yes.
on the same wavelength of issues. May mga
Exactly.
nagsasabi nga na ino-oppose niyo daw po ang palengke dahil hindi po nasunod ang inyong mga plano na unang pinresenta.
Hindi nasunod yung plano ng market.
Mm-mm.
Hindi nasunod yung inapprove
Yung
ng
inapprove.
mga tao.
So-
which I was only the head of the technical working group.
So people don't understand
Yeah.
kung bakit inaaway niyo si Mayor Magalong. It has come to that level sa ibang mga tao.
Sandali hindi ko siya inaaway. I just oppose the issues.
Issue-based.
Issue-based, never personal.
Never personal.
Never. Puro issues lang. Yan, yung market, the privatization
That's
of
why
the
you brought
market.
it to court.
The one that we brought to court is the Topinao, because it was a land purchase that the city council did not approve of, and then the second is the multipurpose building in Irisan na overpayment yung contractor, and then the third is the Wright Park. Same contractor na may slippage sa Irisan, ginamit din sila sa Wright Park, kaya ngayon nakatiwangwang. No? And then the Athletic Bowl, which was a merging of local and national funds.
So these are cases that you have well researched.
Of course, and I have data to prove it.
So it's not just for the sake of filing a case or pestering our chief executive.
No, this is documented. Remember, I was the chairman of Public Works, and I received reports from the city engineer's office and from the DPWH. I have proofs, I have records, hindi ho yun invento. And also records from the city council, yung ating minutes of the meeting. I research. Hindi ho ako nagfa-file ng case just because gusto ko mang istorbo. No. It's because funds were used, funds were disbursed, funds were misappropriated. And that is my commitment to the people of Baguio.
All right. So there are 4 pending cases and pahapyaw lang kinwento sa atin ni Councilor Guerra noon because these are of course ongoing.
Yes.
So meron pong 4. Let's get that in the air. It's the elephant in the room.
Yes.
Now let's go to the rebuttals of your friends in politics in City Hall. Nagkaroon ng public speech ba or pinansin kayo ni Mayor Magalong during one of the flag raising ceremonies at City Hall? And how was this experience?
It was supposed to be, kasi every flag raising, one of us would always give an inspirational message. So all eyes were on him.
So it was his turn that time?
Yes. And instead of reading his speech, he started already commenting on a Facebook, something that caught his eye probably, that was not intended for anything but to praise the project of Leni Robredo for indigent children, dormitory for indigent children. And I just mentioned that we had a BIBAC dormitory. And he parang mali yung understanding niya doon na parang siguro siya yung pinupuntirya ko, no? But mind you, I was parang nagulat ako with his reaction.
He clearly pointed you out.
Yes, na bakit siya nagre-react ng ganun? Bakit? Kung BIBAC dormitory pala ibabalik, pwede ka naman gumawa ng parking, commercial, and then put the dormitory upstairs, di ba? Pero bakit siya nag-react na iinsultuhin pa ako sa flag raising? Kaya yung sinasabi ko, never ako naging personal, issues-based ako, pero ako pinersonal. And I call that bullying.
All right. Now, let's go to the council. The recent issue at the city council was about the building code.
Yes.
And can you tell us about this council meeting?
Okay. In context na naman, no?
Yes.
We had the NCIP, remember, joint meeting with the city council, and yung the Ibaloys were complaining na parang they are left out in their own land. They have built structures on their land, but it's not yet titled up to now. Okay lang yun eh. Kaso they are being given notices of violation for no building permit on the structures that they have built because they cannot get building permit without their lands being titled.
Yes.
So I made a motion there at the convention center to suspend the issuances of notices of violation. And sinabihan ako ni Vice Mayor and si Popo Casalan na let's bring that up in the city council, not here.
All right.
Okay, so come Monday,
you brought it up.
You brought it up. I brought it out.
Yes.
Yes, and yun, and we questioned, nandun kasi ang DNR, nandun ang CBAW, nandun din si City Legal Officer. And there was a discussion, healthy discussion. No? And again, nag-motion ako na to suspend, ano tawag na? Suspend
the rules. Suspend
the issuances.
The issuances.
No, of the notices.
Reiterating your motion sa convention center.
Yes, I reiterated that. And na-cut off ako na anong tinanong ni Vice Mayor any comment, tapos sabi ni Councilor Molintas na about the parang mas magaling pa ako sa lawyer, gano'n, no? And I was offended.
And this was live?
Yes, and this was live kasi all naman our council sessions are. And I called his attention and said, Attorney Molintas, the National Building Code is like our Bible. We studied that for semesters of college. And lahat ng arkitekto dito, even engineers, they know that. Kahit na hindi ko buksan ngayon, alam ko yung laman nun. And gusto ko pa i-reiterate sana, no, na ang nandun sa National Building Code, ang requirement na number 1 is your land should be titled. And yet they are issuing notices of violation. Kaso bigla akong na-cut off din ni Vice. So, yun ba, I really felt bullied kasi hindi ko pa na-explain, bigla akong kinat off, biglang ganon. So, I really felt bad at that time. And yun nga, sabi ko, naipon-ipon na.
Oo.
Na, dapat ba palagi akong ganito? Dapat ba palagi akong kina-cut off when I'm explaining something? Why don't you let me finish?
So that's what happened with that discussion.
Yes.
Okay. Magkakasama po kayo sa Partidong Liberal ni Councilor Molintas on the onset. Ano po ba ang nangyari ngayon? What is the status of the Liberal Party? Magkakasama pa rin po ba kayo? Tapos hindi kayo nagkakaintindihan ngayon? Thus, itong sagutan sa council?
I got out of the Liberal Party because he's the chairman.
Kailan po kayo umalis sa Liberal?
I think last year.
Last year,
Yeah, last
because the chairman is now...
Is now Jose Molintas.
So talagang hindi na po kayo nagkakaintindihan ni Councilor Joe?
The election 2022, no? Kakampi ko sila.
Opo.
Kakamping nga, di ba? Kasi
Oo.
liberal nga, di ba? And during that campaign, they were invited as guests by Mayor Magalong in his party. And they joined him.
Sumama as
Sumama
guests.
sa kanila. Si Molintas, si Cosalan, Aladiu, Vic Jimenez. And I was also invited. But how can I join them when their advocacy is different from mine? Diba? My advocacy was, I was against the privatization of the market. And my other advocacy was for the COVID, boost your immune system. Ang
advocacy
ang
ng panahon na
advocacy
yun,
ko.
yes.
And I attended one of the caucuses, and I heard Mayor Domogan. We had the same advocacy. Kaya after a while na nandun na sila sa kabila, syempre feeling ko na-abandon na ako. But I was campaigning on my own. Kasama ko yung mga kabataan ng kakamping. And then Councilor Datuin said, mag-isa ka pala invite ka na lang namin. Sabi ko, pero kakamping ako. No conditions. You can wear your collar. So, ganun ba? So, I tried to join one of the caucuses and I was very welcome.
This was for Timpuyog?
Yes, with Timpuyog.
With Timpuyog
With
at that time.
Timpuyog.
So, klaro lang natin, Councilor Mylen, wala ka na sa Liberal Party.
No,
The sole
yes.
reason is because ang chairman natin ngayon is Councilor Joe.
Yes.
Okay. And since we have talked about you joining the Timpuyog before, nung panahon na yon, let's confront the question that you have changed your political parties
No,
through the years.
I was a guest.
a guest.
Yeah, just like them, they were invited by Mayor Magalong's party, and their president was Ping Lacson. But their president was Leni Robredo, di ba? And in the same manner, I joined the team of Mayor Domogan, even if his president was at that time BBM.
So magkakaiba.
Magkakaiba. Pero, you know, the political arena in the local, parang hindi natin pinapansin yung national Because we remain friends. We remain, you know, kung ano yung, para sa akin, kung ano advocacy ko, I joined the party who has the same advocacy as I have.
All right. And now you are with the Macabagyo team.
Yes.
Under our Congressman Mark Go.
Yes.
Not as a guest, as part of the team.
Yes. I am their vice mayorable.
Yes.
Yes.
So, itong pagpapalit po ng, let's say, loyalties, how will you confront this question that people, some sectors are accusing you of being a political butterfly?
Oh, again, this is what my mom used to tell me. In politics, there are no permanent friends and permanent enemies. And for us, our family had always been the advocacy and issues-based. If we have the same advocacy, magkakakampi tayo. Kung magkaiba, then you belong to another. We're not loyal to a certain person We're loyal to the people of Baguio. Kaya nga palagi kong sinasabi, yung advocacy palagi ang importante because it focuses on the people, not on a party or not on a particular person. Kaya yung loyalty na sinasabi ninyo, I am very loyal to the people of Baguio. Kayo, kasi kayo ang bumoto sa akin eh.
Okay. Now let's get back to being bullied.
Yes.
You have mentioned it twice already. Once during the flag raising by our Mayor Magalong, and twice with Vice Mayor Oloan and Councilor Joe again during that discussion on congestion fee. Why do you think you're being bullied?
Maybe because I am very vocal. Maybe.
Maybe.
Parang they want to silence me, but they cannot. All the more. Yan ang tatak ng Yaranon yata, no? All the more, kaya mahal mo yung tatay ko, eh, no?
Tama po.
Kasi lalo mong sinusuppress. Ang sabi ng tatay ko, as long as you're doing the right thing, don't be afraid.
During our discussion with Councilor Joe, now that we're talking about the late great Braul Yaranon, who has of course put up a very good fight, one of the best fights. Sinasabi niya na ang mga dating kakampi ng inyong ama ang inalisan mo at yung mga dati niyang hindi kakampi ang kasama mo ngayon.
Yes. Okay, again, ang nilalaban ng tatay ko noon was Uniwide and Jadewell. The people involved there, of course, is Mayor Dumogan and Mayor Vergara before. Ngayon, iba naman ang issue ko. Ang issue ko ngayon is SM for the market and MPTC, no, for the congestion fee.
Yes.
Parang parehas lang yan eh. Ano na yung term na yun? Steroid lang ng Jadewell yung smart mobility, ano na yan eh. Yung congestion fee na yan eh. So, I've always been loyal to my advocacy. Sila. Yan ang question ko. Sila. Pinaglaban mo nga ang Jadewell. Ngayon na, are you in favoring that congestion fee?
During the time of your father, maraming hindi kumakampi sa kanya, and he was called a lot of names.
Yes.
He was also the favorite underdog.
Yes.
How do you feel now that your plight is somewhat the same?
Well, I'm my father's daughter, and being an underdog is not negative. I may be an underdog in the city council, but I have the whole people of Baguio supporting us. So I don't feel underdog.
People say that you've been using the victim card. How do you respond to that?
Parang ngayon nga lang ako umangal sa ano, di ba? Sorry. Ngayon lang ako umangal dyan sa bullying. I always, alam ko, no, even with my size, I've always been an underdog and all that. Pero hindi, palaban ako eh. And that tatakyaran nun din yun, yung palaban.
Natatakot ka ba sa kanila?
No. Why should I? I have the people of Baguio supporting me.
Right. All right. We have focused on, of course, the reorganization, the market, the congestion fee, and this issue on bullying.
Pwede ba natin ibalik lang sa ano? Kasi I remembered, I was questioned about the 10%.
10%.
Na hinihingi ng mga arkitekto.
Sige po,
Diba?
balikan po natin yan.
Yes.
I give you the floor.
Yes, that was part of the bullying during that flag raising ceremony na, di ba, sabi, di ba, Miss Yaranon, yung mga arkitekto mo, humihingi ng, nag-charge ng 10%.
That was specifically for the SM design.
For the Baguio Public Market,
Yes.
yeah, the ones that we designed for the technical working group, na humihingi daw ng mga 10%. 10% kung 2 billion, 200 million, 3 billion, 300, and 4 billion, 400. Excuse me. Hindi ho yun totoo. And I've mentioned the architects who worked with me. Not even one of them was asked to be paid. They helped, it was voluntary. Kaya nga hiyang-hiya ako sa kanila na they are being accused of charging the government of 10%. Hindi ho yun totoo and nobody charged. When we had the public consultation sa market, it was the market people who were even buying our merienda. Walang nabayaran sa mga arkitekto. Mm-hmm. So I want to make that clear na hindi totoo yung inaakusa nila na yung mga arkitekto who worked with me for the market ay nagcha-charge ng 10%. Kasinungalingan yan. Yun. Thank you.
Alright. Marami po tayong comments ngayon. Babasahin ko po ang isa sa comments natin. This is from Mr. Alex Bulosan. Medyo maraming comments si Sir Alex. Pipiliin ko na lang po dahil ang iba dito ay naitanong ko na. Okay, let's focus on one. You mean to say your decision to abstain from the Human Rights Defenders Ordinance is not personal? You really do not see merit in protecting the human rights of the people?
Okay. We have received confidential letters, no? But I cannot talk about that here.
Mm-hmm. We talk about what we can and
Yes.
Keep what we cannot disclose, but
Yes.
try to explain it the best we can.
Yes. So I decided to abstain.
All right. So these reasons are beyond personal, but are because of security and other factors.
Actually, it's more of security.
All right. Okay, another one from Mr. Bulosan. What is your advocacy?
My advocacy?
Yes.
Yes. A human-centered community.
A human-centered community.
Kaya nga makatao, di ba? Makabagyo. And all the ordinances and resolutions that will be proposed in the City Council will be based on that, human-centered and makajos. Human-centered, ibig sabihin, ito ba ay pangkaramihan? Pangkalahatan ba ng taga-Baguio? Or will it only benefit a few? Yun ang isang major na advocacy po natin. And also, inclusive governance.
Inclusive governance.
Yes. Nobody should be left out.
Do you think that people are being left out now?
Yes, definitely.
But all the eyes are on Baguio, and people hail us as being one of the most progressive and model LGU.
You come and live here, then you'll know. That's my advice for the people outside Baguio who you're only looking at the Palamuti, no? You go to Wright Park or you go to Mansion House, you see all these fountains, mm-hmm. You see all these new parks, botanical garden. But are the people happy?
How do we gauge the happiness of the people of Baguio, Councilor Mylen? Because over the years, advocacies have changed.
Yeah.
And priorities have been also changing drastically. What do you think will make the people of Baguio happy, based on the pulse of your supporters and while you're going around?
Yeah. They should not be displaced from their homes. They should not be issued notices of violation. They should not be charged additional fees. And they should not be just demolished just like that without any place to transfer. The market vendors, let's clean the market even if wala pa sanang developer. Diba? Parang the day-to-day living is important. Palagi masyadong pabigat na sa mga tao yung mga nangyayari ngayon. That's what I hear, no? And of course, the traffic.
Traffic.
Not only for the tourists, but for the locals.
At the mid of our...
Traffic,
yes.
Basura, sewer, mm-hmm. Lahat yan, na-solve pa, hindi pa.
So amid the, I don't want to say propaganda, but amid the development that we have on our infrastructure, our roads, our parks, what do you think people should focus on? Or this administration?
on basic necessities.
Kulang pa rin ba tayo?
Kulang. We don't have enough water. We have our garbage. We're tasked to dispose of our own. Diba? Saan mo naman ibabasura yung yung biodegradable mo kung wala ka namang garden? Puro very simple or very basic na hindi ma-address. Ikakalungkot ng mga tao. Kahit nabigyan mo sila ng magagandang park, magagandang, all of this. Pero bottom line, para kanino yan? Sa turista? Para sa amin ba yan na taga Baguio?
Nagkakaroon tayo ng debate na ang mga residente ng Baguio ay kadalasan is taking a backseat to tourists and tourism. Evidenced ito sa galit at frustration ng ating mga kasamahan sa syudad noong holiday season dahil inadvisean na lang ng pulis ang ating mga residente to stay at home. So, how do you think we can appease ang sentiments ng ating mga residente?
Panagbanga is also the season where tourists come.
Yes. Diretso na to hanggang summer,
Yeah.
Holy Week.
Pero I talked to the organizers of Panagbanga. They are able to manage the traffic well. Bakit hindi natin ginawa yun nung Christmas? Or nung New Year? We could do it. Kung kaya ng mga organizers ng Panagbanga, bakit hindi natin kaya?
So there is an existing traffic management
Yes.
scheme by our Panagbenga organizers,
Yes.
headed by our BFFFI.
Yes.
And you're suggesting na dapat meron din tayong ganito noong holidays.
Yes. Ang nagsuggest niya is si Van de Pino.
Evangeline
Si
Define.
Evangeline, Sabi niya, we have a
Evangeline
traffic
Pino.
scheme. So, bakit di natin gamitin yun?
Bakit nga po ba hindi gamitin?
Hindi ko alam. Siguro nakabakasyon lahat, di ba?
Nakabakasyon lahat.
O, hindi ako nagbakasyon, nandito ako.
Opo, nandito
Gumagawa
tayo-
ng blueberry.
Nandito tayong lahat nung ating holiday season. Hindi lang po tayo nakikita dahil nasa bahay tayong
Correct,
lahat.
nasa bahay din ako.
Alright. Okay, we have a comment here by Miss Yel or Rosa. There is a lot of viral videos on Facebook about the POSD, about being oppressive and violent to vendors. What can you say about the current state of our POSD as headed by Daryl Longid, who seems to be vocal about a lot of politically decisive issues in the city? Is this the kind of POSD you envision in Baguio? Shout out po kay Sir Daryl, baka nanonood ngayon.
Yeah.
Welcome po kayo to answer this also in this forum.
Yeah.
Councilor Mylen.
Well, ang comment ko lang kay Daryl, you're working for the government, not for a person. So I hope your comments also should focus on what is good for Baguio.
Do you think the POSD is oppressive?
Ever since, di ba? Oppressive. But ang palagi kong sinasabi, dapat maawa rin, may awa din sa mga tao. Not just because utos sa inyo. Siguro ang ano bang utos sa kanila? You will have a bonus kung marami kayong nahuhuli, ganun ba? Parang yun yung impression ko na kailangan ba manghuli kayo? Where is yung anong tawag noon? Yung
Empathy?
Empathy. Yes, that's the word. Thank you. Where's the empathy there?
Okay. So, open po tayo sa ating POSD Chief, Sir Daryl, to answer this maybe in another session. Brian Galang is watching. Good evening, Malen and Ma'am Mylen Yaranon. Good evening, Brian.
Good evening, Brian.
And I was hoping you would be here. Maybe next time you can come with us here.
Gabi na
Gabi na.
Yeah.
All right. Another question by Michael Laconsay Atihera. I hope I pronounced that right. Ma'am Mylen, ano na po ang update sa housing project ni Mayor Satuba?
Yeah, that's a topic now. That's one of the cases. They are still pursuing with
Can we divulge a little background? Ilang hectares? Ano
Okay.
po ba ito? Is it a housing project like Luna?
the Topinao is outside Baguio, no? It's in Tuba. It's a 6.3 hectare lot that we bought for 95 million. And the road is not yet developed. It's a 2-kilometer road from Asin Road below Bencab. And it's classified as an agricultural land.
Okay. So we bought this land.
We bought this land, an agricultural land, for 95 million,
Mhm.
intended for housing.
Okay.
Yun lang masasabi ko.
So there's a pending case at siguro po pag-uusapan din natin ito in another session. So ang update na hinihingi ni Mr. Atihera, dun lang po muna tayo dun sa updates na binigay ni Councilor Mylen because again, it's an ongoing case. Maybe you can stand by the North Luzon Monitor for more updates on this Tuba project by the City of Baguio. Okay. Marami pong nagko-comment dito but I cannot read every comment. Now, I'd like to ask Councilor Mylen, how do you think the pulse of Baguio has changed over the years in terms of priorities and electing leaders?
You know, the people of Baguio are still intelligent voters.
You think?
Yes. And the social media is a very big influencer
Mhm.
on them. But I hope our viewers or the people of Baguio would be discerning on what is posted on social media. Wag maniwala palagi sa mga palamuti. I think you should look at the actions of people rather than what is published in social media.
Do you think your relationships with Mayor Benji and Councilor Molintas or even your former colleagues sa Liberal can be repaired?
Well, as long as we have the same advocacy. If their advocacy is no privatization of the Baguio public market, then I can start talking to them, you know. If their advocacy is no to congestion fee, then now let's do the talking.
Councilor Joe mentioned that if
Yeah.
and when the Baguio City Market development will go into mollification and privatization, he will be one of the first to oppose. So it's let's wait and see what happens sa isyong ito sa ating palengke.
Yes, action will speak louder than words.
Sa inyong journey, Councilor Mylen, marami po kayong binitawan na relationships. There are friends, there are colleagues which you have left behind, and there are new colleagues which you are now with. Do you think all of this is worth it?
Yes.
All this drama?
This because we're doing this not for ourselves. We're doing this for what is good for Baguio.
You realize maraming naiinis sa inyo ngayon because the popularity of the people you are not friends with ay mas malakas na malakas.
It's okay. Sabi nga ng tatay ko as long as you're doing the right thing.
They're more popular than you and their supporters are have a solid base. Are you scared of this during elections?
I'm not. Because it doesn't mean to say that they're popular and it doesn't mean to say they're the majority.
People say that you're wrong in the cases that you filed.
Prove it. Me, I can prove that I'm right. Because I have the documents to prove.
Did you feel hurt when your friends have a different advocacy or a difference in temperament? Kumbaga, hindi na kayo nagkakaintindihan. I know that some friends have veered away.
Only a few.
Only a few.
And it's okay with me.
Okay lang.
Okay lang.
Okay lang talaga.
Okay lang. Kasi I'm not doing this for you. No?
Over the years, Councilor Mylen, ngayon lang nagkaroon ng allegations on bullying. Ngayon lang napaka-controversial ng pangalan nyo in terms of advocacies and how you actually do your work. Do you think issues now are more vicious than, let's say, 6 years ago?
Actually, yes. The issues now are more people are affected with the issues now rather than before. Noon siguro. Pero hindi eh. Yung sa market, ganon din noon eh. Yung advocacy ng tatay ko, ganon din.
Mm-mm.
And then the issues about the jade well, it's the same.
So parehong issues on
Yes.
palengke at let's say traffic.
Yes, on traffic, the same pa rin. And on the basura,
Do you
and
get
all of that.
goosebumps when you think about it in that way? That you're fighting for the same issues? Magkaiba lang ng era?
Actually, yes. Yeah, kasi alangan naman, di ba? This is what my dad had been fighting for. Tapos ngayon, makikikampi ako dyan sa kabila.
How do you think he'd handle it?
My
if
dad?
If he were alive now,
Mhm.
how do you think he'd handle congestion fee and itong SM in the market?
I think it's the same manner I'm handling it. Kasi I'm guided by him.
Do you have dreams about your dad?
Oh, yes. Pagka mali yung decision ko, mapapaniginipan ko yan naggalit.
Mm-mm.
Pagka okay, yung panaginip ko, nakasmile siya palagi.
Mm-mm. So far, lagi
Yes,
nakangiti.
nakangiti yan palagi. Alam mo naman kung galit siya, di ba?
Ay, opo.
Seryoso.
Kabisado ko
Ayun.
kapag galit siya.
And I will feel it.
Mm-mm.
Pero sa ngayon, sabi ko, I think I'm doing a good job
Okay.
with yung prinsipyo na sinabi niya na he believes that I follow the principles of the family.
There are allegations that you're corrupt.
Prove it. Anong corrupt? Like how? Paano ako naging corrupt? Do I get money?
Do you?
Of course not. Do I influence people in the city council for my own gain? I don't. Wala nga ang kumakampi sa akin, di ba? Do I insist on what I want just to please these elite private individuals?
You often don't get what you want.
Yeah. Hindi ako yung tipong, gusto ko itong, ako counselor, gusto ko makuha yung gusto ko lang. No. Hindi naman dapat ganon. Kasi ang corruption is not only because you got money. It's also you influencing other people so that you get what you want.
Okay.
And I'm not that.
We've talked about a lot of things, and you've also answered point by point allegations and speculations about yourself. Now, we're nearing the end of the session.
And
Is there a message that you'd like to relay to, first, Mayor Benji?
stop being a general and start being a public servant.
O sige, sunod naman natin ang ating paborito, si Councilor Jo.
Yeah. Don't be a bully. And don't be an attack dog. And focus on the issues. Kampihan mo naman ang Baguio, not a particular person.
Alright, para naman po kay ating Vice Mayor Oloan.
Ayun, ganun din. Huwag ka naman magpa-control sa isang tao sa council. Kasi we've been relying on you. You should be the one heading the council, not being controlled by somebody.
Now, Councilor Mylene,
Yes.
to the people of Baguio, dahil hindi naman po lahat kasi talagang well-versed sa lahat ng issue. Kadalasan po, ang naiintindihan lang ng tao, inaaway niyo si Mayor, may kaso na naman siya, ayaw niya yung palengke. May mga ganon. And also, people's opinion is also swayed by social media nowadays. Ano po ang mensahe natin sa ating mga tagapanood at sa mga taga-Baguio?
Alam mo, yung mga bashers ko, they were the same people whom I talked with to ask Mayor Benji to change his decision on the market.
Mhm.
And they are the same people now who are bashing me. Ang mensahe ko lang sa kanila,
Would you like to name them?
No,
Hindi na kailangan.
Well, hindi na kailangan.
They know who they
you know
are.
who you are.
Okay.
And, well, yung iba nakikikamag-anak, yung iba, mga kumadre, naging close because they are in the same circle. But they're my friends. Before, wag naman kayong personal. I mean, parang ano yan sa pamilya, di ba? Kung galit ka sa kapatid mo, don't involve the children. In the same manner, pagka paborito mo yung isang kandidato at yan ay talagang all out ka, tandaan mo hindi lang iisang araw. Sooner or later, lalapit ka rin eh. So, just support your candidate, pero wag mo nang i-bash yung iba. Wag na kayo mag-imbento ng kung ano-anong kwento pa na mga kwento na hindi totoo just to siraan ang isang tao. Yun ang message ko sa kanila. And to the people of Baguio, I am here. I will maintain my advocacy to defend you, to be focused on human-centered advocacy and inclusive governance.
Alright.
Yeah.
Human-centered advocacy and
Inclusive governance.
inclusive governance. Ito po ang battle cry ni Councilor Maylenia Ranon. And we are very honored that she has also graced our session.
Thank you, Malen.
At inantay na natin siya last week pa. I hope that the issues that we talked about in this session clarifies or rebuttals the issues raised by Councilor Jo Molintas. And again, we are also extending the invitation to, eto ba, sino ba yung nabanggit natin dito? Kay Sir Daryl ng POSD. Also, para kay Congressman Mark Go and sa kanyang butihing asawa si Sol Go. The breaking point would also like to emphasize that the issues we talk about are issues that matter as for the advocacy of Fridge TV. Maraming salamat po sa ating mga tagapanood at mabuhay ang malayang pamamahayag.
Thank you. Tapos na. Nasabi